A rivalry in the making. 6A Area 1. It all comes together tonight. Bryant High School hosting Theodore. Bryant kicking off. The Hurricanes defending the southwest goal, kicking to the northeast side. Ted Beal will kick off. Quinney, who had 2 touchdowns last week, back to receive, but this is a short kick and goes out of bounds. So Theodore should take it on the 35-yard line. As we get ready for tonight's action, that was Bill Can who kicked off and not Beal, who was injured during practice this week. Here come the Bobcats. Doss is the quarterback. Sanders and Martin are the running backs. Quinney and Roberson, the wideouts. Phelps, the tight end. Bell and Harbison, the tackles. Orell and Woodard, the guards. And Campbell is the center. Harville Owens is the referee in charge of this game tonight. We'll pick up the defense for Bryant High School in just a minute. 1st and 10 from the 35. Split backfield. Doss likes to throw. Threw 17 times last week. Back to pass. First down. Throws near side. Caught. Quinney with the catch. Up near the 44-yard line, about a yard shy. Kenyatta Fantroy made the tackle. Joined in the backfield by John Sweat, Terry Edwards, and Chris Wilkerson. The linebackers, Lewis Pollock, who, by the way, is from Theodore. Darrell Richardson and Dwayne Lavelle, who had a touchdown last week. James Hunt, Johnny Lee, Antoine Odom, the Crichton Optimist Club Defensive Player of the Week. Johnny Morissette starts ahead of the injured Ted Beal for Bryant High. 2nd down and 1. Doss completing a 9-yarder on the first play. We had some movement, and our first penalty, and it's against Mike Grace. I just can't help but think that maybe the adrenaline has to be flowing overtime for Bryant High School with this big crowd opening night.
Asked head coach Rush Probst that very question. One of the last questions I asked him, this type of atmosphere, positive or negative effect on his team. He said really it could go either way. That he thought they were prepared for it, but that it was going to be a big game, and he was a little bit unsure as to exactly how they'd react to the big crowd and the festive occasion.
Harville Owens, the referee, signal first down after the 5-yard penalty against the home team Hurricanes. 4-man front. High formation Theodore, coached by Joe Downey. One of the veteran coaches around the area, and a good one. Here it goes to Marcus Martin outside, and he turns the corner, but is upended inside Hurricane territory at the 48-yard line. John Sweat, who had those 2 block punts a week ago, made the stop as Jamarcus Martin made the run, but was stopped as he hit the outside. Looked like there was a little more room to the outside, but a nice play by Sweat. I'd say about 50% of the starters last year played for Alba. The other 50 for Grand Bay. 5A merging with 4A to give you 6A. Doss the pass, throws right. Man open, caught, 20. First down to the 38-yard line. He is going to be tough to cover. And Mike, you might remember, Rush Probst said that a key to this game is how well his cornerbacks could contend with the Theodore wideouts, and in particular, Willie Quinney.
Yeah, he said that was the main matchup that a lot of times you'll see as many as 10 men up on the line of scrimmage defensively for the Hurricanes, and it's going to put those cornerbacks in a one-on-one situation. So far, Quinney has gotten the best of them a couple of times.
12-yard pickup down to the 36-yard line. Quinney had 37 catches last year. Split backfield. Doss dropping back. Doss throws left this time. Man open, caught. Roberson. He's down to about the 28-yard line, very close to another first down. Robert Roberson, 6'1" senior. He's the possession receiver. Quinney's the guy who goes deep. And Doss accurate both to the right and now to the left side with that pass. And Roberson was wide open.
He was indeed, just hauled it in. And so far, quarterback Terrell Doss has been right on the money every time he's put it up.
Ball is at the Hurricane 28-yard line, 2nd and 1. Single setback. Back to pass. Doss throws to the right in the air, and nobody is there. And Quinney was coming back for the pass. There was a mix-up. Doss was going long, trying to lead him. And Quinney with a big height advantage on Kenyatta Fantroy, who's 5'8", Quinney at 6'1". But Quinney was actually kind of coming back for the pass, and there was a mistake in the route by either the quarterback or the wideouts. Miscommunication.
Yeah, Doss wanted the fade route, no doubt about it. Threw it towards the corner, and his receiver kind of hooked it back towards the outside sideline. And all the same, a 3rd and a long yard now for the Bobcats. First possession play of the drive.
3rd down, 1. Hand off Martin, off right tackle. First down, 20. Martin, 15. Roll down, 14-yard line. John Sweat in the secondary had to make the tackle. First down, Theodore.
Great blocking by that crew up front, the Theodore Bobcats. Right side movement Big hole there. Couple of broken tackles. Nice job and a nice block by Tilford Saunders to kind of launch Sullivan and get him into the open. He's down inside the 15-yard line.
Carmichael Sullivan made that run, and it was not Martin. It was Sullivan who checked into the lineup. 9:11 remaining, first quarter. Single setback, Tilford Saunders, 5'10 senior. Now the quarterback toss from the 14, straightens up, fade route, over to the left side, caught, dropped by 20. He had his man beat. He would have had a touchdown had he hung on to it. They just lobbed the pass over the head of Terry Edwards. And 20 could not hang on to it. It'll be second down.
Well, that was the fade route just to the opposite side. They threw it to the strong side. Lots of room over there for the receiver, but he had it bounce off his hands. A tough over-the-shoulder catch, and it falls incomplete. Second and 10 now for the Bobcats.
20 to the right, Roberson to the left. Saunders is the setback. They got a double tight end. Phelps on the right, Smith on the left. 20 in motion left on second down and 10 from the 14 whistle. And this may go against the visiting Bobcats. We're located about 20 minutes away from here. It's illegal procedure against Theodore. Carvel Owens made the call, and now will tell us in person.
Dead ball. Illegal procedure. Against the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Thank you, Mr. Owens. Ball comes back to just about the 18-yard line. Between the 18 and 19. Second down and 15 for the Bobcats. Boy, did they squeak one out last week against LaFleur. Joe Downey, 21st year as a coach, 11th as a head coach. Last year they went 7-4. He played his high school ball at Theodore, went on to a collegiate career at Florida State. Second and 15. Roberson in motion left. Back to pass Doss. Doss throws left to the end zone. Roberson, did he get it? No. Bounced out of his hand and he fell down to the turf. And when he fell down, that ball bounced away.
Well, they flooded that left side with both Quinn and Roberson over there. So two defensive backs for Bryant. Actually got kind of hung up. They both went with Roberson, left Quinn wide open. Roberson couldn't hang on to it, a diving attempt, but it bounces off his fingertips, and now it's third and a bunch for Theodore.
Full moon out tonight. Anything can happen. Both of those passes were catchable, and so far you have to be impressed with the way Terrell Doss is throwing, Mike. I mean, he's putting it on the money.
Well, completed his first 3 attempts and has had 3 drops since then.
Looks like we're going to get a timeout taken by Brian High with 8:47 remaining. First quarter, no score. And tonight's broadcast telecast on WNTM Sports City 6 returns right after this.
The Mobile Bay Bears are headed for the Southern League.
Third down and 15 for the Bobcats. On the march, took the opening kickoff from their own 35. The center is Campbell. Single setback. That's Tilford Sanders behind Terrell Doss. Two wideouts, 2 tight ends. Doss rolling left, stops in the pocket, gonna run, and he's gonna be swarmed under, and down he goes about the 17. It's a fumble on the play. Bryant says they have it. Number of bodies on that football. We'll wait for the unpiling. And it is Bryant's football. They have recovered the first turnover of the ball game. Brian High will send out the offense after the Terrell Doss fumble. He was hit up the middle. And just a bunch of bodies on that ball. Blue jerseys surrounding the football.
And Johnny Lee comes up. He's the last one to get up from that pile, and Lee with the fumble recovery for the Hurricanes to thwart the Bobcat threat.
Not sure who hit Doss. His number was obliterated by all of those Hurricanes around the ball. Gerald Thompson's quarterback, 6'1" sophomore. He was a free safety down the last year. Single setback, Brandon Johnson. They got 1 wide out to the far side, 3 to the near side. They'll run Johnson straight ahead up near the 19-yard line. Brandon Johnson, very tough inside runner, 6-foot senior, scored the first touchdown in school history. They say this guy can bench press almost 400 pounds. Kentucky supposedly has offered him a scholarship. Florida State may not be far behind. Lynn Thompson, Curtis Moore, the running backs. Theonis Johnson, Preston Houston, the wideouts. Tyler Trahorn is the center. Eugene Lawson, Ben Dixon are the guards. Grayson Wilson and Chad Petronis are the tackles. Second and 9, whistle And a flag will get the defense for visiting Theodore. Michael Sullivan, Andre White, Mike Bechtel, Eric Pruitt, a solid Division I prospect, are the defensive backs. That was a 5-yard penalty against Bryant. Here we go with the call.
Dead ball. Illegal procedure on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
The Theodore linebackers was all juniors: John Barnacle, Thaddeus Brooks, and Demetrius Wells. The defensive line has Solly White and Marcus White. Kendall Goodwin and Ben Black, a 3-year starter, are the tackles. 2nd and 15. Ball comes back to the 13. Gerald Thompson, a very fine runner, very quick. 7:39 to go, first quarter. Single setback, double wing, timeout taken by the quarterback. We'll keep it right here with 7:33 remaining in the first quarter. We want to thank some of our sponsors on WNTM: Johnston's Campus Supply, Providence Hospital, Quality Valve, and Hills Children's Shoes. We saw Dave Ellis today. Beam Color Design Center, and some of the Sports City 6 sponsors: Atlas Capital Mortgage, Boston State, and Herman Paget Attorney and Eddie's.
Lee, it took a little while, but the opposite side of this Bryant High School athletic complex finally filled up. It was slow doing so, but boy, they were expecting some 5,400 fans, what they thought their attendance could be tonight. And they packed them in for this home opener for the all-new Bryant High School Hurricanes.
When play resumes, it will be 2nd down and 15. Again, Bryant. Combination of Alba and Grand Bay. Alba about 4.5 miles away. Grand Bay maybe 5. Here's Johnson straight ahead, tripped up at the 15-yard line. Got about 3, maybe 4 yards. Inside handoff to Brandon Johnson, who rushed for nearly 100 yards against Shaw High School last Saturday at Ladd.
Nothing fancy in the middle of that Bobcat defense. Up to the challenge as they battle off the offensive blocks and get a hand on Brandon Johnson.
3rd and 12 from their own 15. Thompson looks like he's going to load up the shotgun. Russ Probst in his first year, of course, at Bryant. 2nd year in this area, coached it out the last year. Handoff goes to Johnson, tries to come outside, breaks the tackle. 15, cut back to the 19, wrestled down at the 20. You can see it takes a lot of guys to bring him down. There was at least 5 tacklers in on that play.
And everything he got, he earned on his own. There were Bobcats in the backfield from the get-go. So Johnson just battles off, breaks a nice tackle here as he slithers away from that ankle tackle, and then manages to get another 5 yards, just barreling his way straight ahead. It was Thaddeus Burks who tried to get a hold of Johnson's ankle, but that's not the way to bring down that big guy.
Brandon Johnson stays in the punt. He averaged about 38 a game in his opener last Saturday. Flag down. Hit a lot of flags early on. 4th down and 7. Flag thrown. Coverage for Theodore. Standing at near midfield is Michael Sullivan.
Illegal substitution against the defense. 5-yard penalty.
Now Bryant will get a couple of extra yards and kick it from the 25. They got 4th down and 3 from the 25. Brandon Johnson moves up to the 12. For Michael Sullivan drops back to the 45. Edwards stands ahead of the punter. Good snap, big rush, gets it away, and a good one. Spiral. Sending Sullivan deep over his shoulder, hits the 25, way back in the 15. He picks it up, he drops it, picks it up, it slows, scrambling for the ball. Bryant says they have it. Nope, it's Theodore's ball. Somehow, some way, Michael Sullivan came up with it, and lucky for him, he did.
Sullivan must have said his prayers last night because there's no way he should have gotten that ball. 3 or 4 Bryant Hurricanes right on top of him, but somehow he came away with it in the bottom of that pile.
Theodore, which fumbled away the football deep in Bryant territory, dodges the bullet. We get the official timeout, heat-related timeout. 5:57 to go, first quarter. We'll return to Bryant High School Football Stadium on W. Theodore, deep in its own territory at the 14. Out of the I formation. The whiteout Quinny in motion to the left. Handoff goes to Martin, who breaks the tackle, scrambles up near the 20-yard line to Marcus Martin, a 5'10 junior, coming off the right side. and gaining about 5 yards up to the 19-yard line. It will be second down. Call it 6. Coming off the field is Johnny Marset, who started tonight, played to the injured Ted Beal. Second down. And 6. We understand that punt by Brandon Johnson, a mere 66 yards. Dawes, quarterback, he sneaks his way to the 20 before he's finally stopped. Lewis Pollock, the 5'10 junior, who we understand is a native of Theodore before moving to the Bayou. Last time Dawes carried the ball, Mikey fumbled.
Just kind of moved it straight ahead, got a few yards, maybe a yard up the middle, so a third and a long 4. They've got to get it to just shy of the 25-yard line to move the chains.
Bobcats with Dawes at quarterback. Third down and 5. His success so far tonight through the air, especially to Quinney. Quinney out to the left. Split backfield. Fumble on the handoff. We got another fumble. It's at the 20-yard line. This time, Bryant says they have the football and they're right. Second time they've recovered a fumble. And that fumble was recovered by Roosevelt Waters, a 6 foot, 190-pound junior. Waters, the fumble recovered. Dawes having trouble with the snap from the center. Campbell, and that's their third fumble and the second that Bryant has recovered.
Well, they've put it on the turf twice now, and Hurricanes have come up with both of them. The last one to throw on a drive deep in Hurricane territory. This one, though, will set up Bryant with a chance to move it in from the red zone.
Inside the 20. The Hurricanes, single setback Johnson. The double wing formation, Thompson at quarterback. Takes, here's it off. Here comes the cutback, and tripped up is Lynn Thompson, trying to come to the left side with the cutback, got about a yard.
And boy, linebacker Thaddeus Burks, who made a big saving tackle there. If he doesn't get a hold of the runner, he's got some big yardage. Again, you'll see him throw himself towards him and just get a hand on him to knock him off his feet.
In case you're wondering, the Thompsons are related. They are first cousins. Lynn Thompson started last year as a freshman at Alba. He's been bothered by a shoulder injury on 2nd and 9. Johnson 15. Brandon Johnson straight ahead, pulls his way up to the 13-yard line. He is a moose.
Now you got Johnson in the type of field position that you want. You get those offensive linemen charging off the blocks, and well, Johnson just follows them straight ahead and gets good yardage down to about the 12-yard line.
Between the 12 and 13, 3rd and 3. Bryant knocking on the door. Hurricanes want to score first. This place will go bedlam if they do. Here is the quarterback at Johnson to the 10, to the 5, to the 4. Touchdown, Brandon Johnson. The first touchdown at home, first touchdown last week. He bolts 13 yards. Bryant leads it 6-0.
And he was not going to be denied. Once he made it past the line of scrimmage, got back into that secondary, the Bobcats had no chance. Boy, Johnson with a big weight moving forward, and there he goes. He's in for the touchdown.
I counted 3 missed tackles.
You're not going to bring him down with an arm tackle, that's for sure.
Billy Can, soccer-style kicker, boots it up and boots it home. And the score is now 7-0, Bryant High. And they take advantage of the Theodore fumble, the second time that the Bobcats have lost the ball in the first quarter. And Brandon Johnson with his second touchdown of the season. This guy had an outstanding year at Alba last year, gaining over 1,000 yards.
Well, 2 turnovers in this first quarter already for the Theodore Bobcats. The second one converted into the first points of the game. As Bryant takes it 20 yards in 3 plays. Brandon Johnson toting the final 13 yards to take it in for the touchdown.
I really believe that last Saturday's score was kind of an eye-opener for many football fans around the area. I mean, they really didn't know what to expect from Bryant High, and 26-0 over a very fine Shaw High School football team. But I saw a lot of good things, and you know, I had never seen a Rush Probst team before, but they were very well coached. He came out of Asheville, and you follow 8 years before he came down to this area. Still in his late 30s, a very young guy. This guy has put together quite a staff. He's got a big staff also. You know, ironically, on each sideline, you have a brother, Scott Meredith, coaching for Bryant, and his brother is coaching for Theodore. Kickoff at the 15. And that's Termichael Sullivan up to the 30, up near the 33-yard line. Pretty good run back of 17 yards.
Sullivan just following the sidelines and getting a block or two, easing his way across the 30-yard line. The Bobcats with good field position as they try to recuperate from the turnover that Bryant's turned into the first points of the game.
Theodore will have the ball for the third time. The previous two times they fumbled it away. 3:12 to go, first quarter. Brought to you in part by Pepsi and by Gleam Color and Design Center. Joe Downey's offense goes to work out of the eye. From the 32, Doss play action fake. Then he's going to be wrapped around and driven down the line of scrimmage. He faked to his back, looked like he wanted to pass, then decided to keep the ball. And it was Roosevelt Waters again. And I'll tell you something, his name was not given to me in the two deep chart.
Well, he might be 3 deep on the sidelines, but he's playing right up front. The Bryant Hurricanes tonight, been in a couple of big plays for the Hurricanes already tonight.
Hot night out here at Bryant High School in South Mobile. Really the first time I've been down in this area. 2nd and 10. Doss back to pass. Time throws right. Quinney there. Great catch to the 45, and he's down on his own. He went up, grabbed it, and fell down at about the 45-yard line for the first down. That's his third grab, and he is a tough customer.
Boy, great athletic ability by Quinney just to go up, stretch himself out, and haul that one in. Earns the Bobcats the first down out of the 45.
Really spent a lot of time off season lifting weights. Become quite a deep threat. 1st and 10. Doss stumbles back to pass. Throws. Ball smothered at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. That play had negative written all over it because Doss lost his balance, then tried to throw off balance and had it spiked.
Antoine Odom along with Lewis Pollock. We heard tonight from head coach Russ Probst that he'd be bringing a lot of people blitzing, and it was Pollock from the linebacker position who comes in strong, combines with Odom to knock the quarterback down, but they call it an incomplete pass, and will reset it at the 45.
2nd down for the Bobcats. Beat LaFleur last week. Went right down to the wire. Beat him 25-20 on a Doss touchdown pass. Split backfield for the quarterback. Has time. Screen pass left. Caught backfield at the 38-yard line and going nowhere. And I mean nowhere. Is the Theodore back that time. Jason Smith. He's a tight end. The tight end took the pass on the left side. Couldn't find any room. They lose a lot of ground on that one.
Well, tried to set up that tight end screen to the left side, but boy, Bryant snuffed that one out. It's going to be a loss of some 5 yards, and make it 3rd and 15 now for the Bobcats.
Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, and so far, if this first quarter is any indication, I think the Hurricanes came to play. There was a flag thrown. Let's get the call right now.
Clipping against the offense. Decline. We'll play 3rd down.
They declined because a lot of yardage lost. 7, they get 6 yards. Back to the 39. 3rd and 16. Terrell Doss, pretty good basketball player. 6'2" junior. When he's had time, has thrown a very nice pass tonight. And in this 3rd and long, you got to watch Quinney lined up on the right. Roberson on the left, double tight end, single step back. Doss back to pass, fakes once, throws deep, sideline, near sideline, incomplete. That time he had no loft on it. It was a line drive pass, and Fantroy stayed step for step.
Well, Kenyatta Fantroy watched him. He was singled up on Quinney and all the way down the sidelines. He was with him step for step, was not going to let him get away. And again, quarterback Doss maybe could have put a little bit more air under that one, but still Fantroy with nice coverage.
Thaddeus Burks, who averaged about 32 yards last Friday, will punt it. And Chris Wilkerson deep. Here's the snap. Good one rush on. They almost got him. I tell you, they rush well on specialty teams. Ball takes a Theodore bounce from the 38 down to about the 20 to the 19. Mike, last week, I know this for a fact, you cannot relax on a punt because they come storming in there like a hurricane. They blocked 2 punts last Saturday, and one fell into the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, always a chance to make or break a ball game on special teams. It can certainly win some games for you, but it can certainly lose some just as quickly. And boy, the Hurricanes trying to get things going with those special teams big plays. Set up just shy of their own 20-yard line.
36-yard punt with a nice roll. Bryant with the ball. Look out. Lynn Thompson has a lights out at the 15. He found no room at all. Marcus White right on him. He tried to turn the corner and never got started upfield on a wingback counter, trying to go to the left side. The Theodore Marching Band in attendance tonight.
Thompson on that counter play was snuffed out quickly. Never really had a chance. Really misdirection, and the Bobcats wouldn't go for it.
Rush Probst trying to decide what play to call right now. On 2nd and 13, 68 seconds to go, first quarter. Gerald Thompson at quarterback, single setback, Brandon Johnson. Wing to the left, somebody jump in. How? Eugene Lawson was off to the races on that one. We could have called that one, Mike.
Ready to go.
Yeah, he was ready to go. He thought there was a sale on hot dogs and Cokes or something. He was ready to go down to the concession stand on that one, and I don't blame him.
Well, that should back.
Dead ball. Illegal procedure against the offense. 5-yard penalty.
I think somebody told him that we had some West Indies salad.
I guess so, and there's still some left, as a matter of fact. Don't say it too loudly, but yeah.
It's going to be 2nd down and long. Ball comes back to about the 11-yard line. They need the 30, or actually the 29. They're at the 11. Gerald Thompson in at quarterback, single setback, double wing, wide out to the far side. Brandon Johnson gets the call, but not much room. Stop at the 12-yard line. That time Theodore ready for him.
Yeah, that interior line for the Bobcats on the spot again, led that time by Marcus White from his end position.
We have less than a minute to go. Marcus White has played well on this series. 30 seconds remaining. 3rd down. And 18 to go. Shotgun. Gerald Thompson and a flag down. Maybe a delay of game, maybe illegal procedure. But whatever, it probably will cost the home team. Illegal procedure against the Canes.
Dead ball. Illegal procedure against the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Thank you, Mr. Owens. I appreciate that. Harvell Owens helping us out tonight. The Hurricanes going back to their goal line. And here is Lynn Thompson out to the right side, tried to turn the corner, gets it up to the 15, so he gave his punter some breathing room as he scrambled around. And with 2 seconds to go in the first quarter, Lynn Thompson gets him out of the shadow of their own end zone. That was a nice play. We're going to leave them 4th down and about 13. And that is the end of the first quarter. Bryant leading 7-0 as you listen to WNTM and watch on Sports City 6. The second quarter is coming up right after this. The first quarter's history at Bryan High School. Brandon Johnson scores the touchdown. Willie Cannon added the extra point at 7-0. Brandon Johnson, he does a bit of everything, will punt it away. The last time he punted, it went 66 yards. Stands at his own 3. Good snap, rush on, gets it away, and he booms it out of there. Running up the field, Carmichael Sullivan tripped up at the 45, flag down back, where Brandon Johnson kicked it away.
Yeah, there were a couple of Theodore Bobcats close to him, and one of them dribbled over on top of him. He was able to get the call. The flag came out.
That obviously cannot be good news for Theodore.
Well, it was 4th, and we had 4th and 14. And if it is a major penalty, it would obviously give them just enough for the first down.
So it's either Theodore with possession up near the 30.
It looks like they'll spot it at the 31-yard line, and a new set of downs for the Bryant Hurricanes.
Well, let's get the call on this. Here's Harvell Owens.
Roughing the kicker against the defense. Automatic first down.
Theodore's ball, as we speculated. Correction, I said Theodore's ball. I meant Hurricanes ball.
And would you believe me, Lee? That's the first down of the night for the Bryant Hurricanes, despite their 7-0 lead. They finally moved the sticks for the first time tonight.
So Theodore, instead of having great field position at the 45, lets Bryant hang on to the football, and Brandon Johnson just dives right into the center of that line and runs it up to the 35-yard line for a 4-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 6. So roughing the kicker, and Bryant maintains possession. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Brandon Johnson will workmanlike performance tonight. Has a touchdown. He's been punting well. And he's the reason they have the ball at the 35 after getting roughed up. Gerald Thompson, the quarterback, double wing with a wide out each side, left and right, no tight end. Johnson standing right behind Dawes, or I should say the quarterback Thompson, back to pass. He's in trouble, looks for room, tried to scramble out, gets knocked down at the 30. Well, he had some time that time. He faked throwing to the right side, and as he tried the fake, gave the Bobcats more time to get in there and sack him.
And Kendall Goodwin working against the interior of the line. Actually, it was 50 for Theodore. Let's double check him, not on our depth chart. Solely White, sophomore defensive lineman, who's in there to get the sack.
The official is telling the Bryant players to move back off the sideline, please. And this is WNTM Mobile. Those listening can watch Saturday afternoon at 5. Back to pass. Gerald Thompson, rush on, throws right sideline. Man there, Brandon Johnson, great catch up to the 45 before he first down. Is there something he does not do?
Well, that was a beautiful play, just swinging out of the backfield to the right side. And good job by Gerald Thompson to get it to him. Thompson may have paid the price. No, it's not Thompson, one of his offensive linemen apparently. It's down. Boy, nice catch by Brandon Johnson on the run, enough for the first down yardage.
Mike, at the half, we got a presentation which I think you're going to enjoy, and I know our listeners will. Southern Pickwick. This is a review of SEC football games, but in a different mode. You'll hear some interesting voices, which you will recognize. Steve Armstead is the host of Southern Pickwick. It'll be our halftime show, and I know you're going to enjoy it. If for no other reason, there's a lot of voices in there that are very well known to you.
That's for our radio audience on WNTM, AM 710, Mobile, along with our Comcast broadcast on Sport 56 tonight. Steve Thomas and his gang. Rob, our engineer guy up here. There's so many guys, we can't mention them all. Rob I mentioned because
they have almost as many people.
He's the guy that plugs us in up here.
You know, Mike, they have almost as many people as Bryant has coaches.
They're working on quite the crew.
The Bryant coaching list, listen to this. Hammond Browley, offensive line. Eric Collier, defensive back. David Faulkner, quarterback coach. Brian Jones, running back. Craig Moss works with the wide receivers. Scott Meredith, defensive line. Bill Sellers, tight end coach. Todd Watson, linebacker coach. That's just to name most of them.
And it looks like the injured player, Grayson Wilson, for Bryant, and he's gotten some help, but is off the field now.
Johnson gets it. Runs left. Cut down. Midfield. First down. Secondary. 40. 35. Foot race. 20. He's done. Brandon Johnson. Touchdown.
Sir Michael Sullivan had a chance, but tried to grab the shirt. And you're not going to get Brandon Johnson with a shirt tackle, that's for sure. Here's a guy you got to hit and hit hard. Once Johnson got the old momentum going, the big 215-pound senior was long gone.
This is becoming a Brandon Johnson highlight film. It was Johnson who was punting, who got roughed up, who kept the drive alive. It was Johnson whose catch produced the first down, and now a 55-yard touchdown run. Can for the kick. And he splits the uprights, and it's 14-0. Bryant with 10-10 remaining in the second quarter. And Brandon Johnson, as I said, is just putting together a highlight film tonight.
Unofficially, 8 carries for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns tonight for the Hurricanes.
A near-capacity crowd, most of them on the Bryant side, enjoying every second of this game. Brandon Johnson talking to Coach Russ Probst. And as slick a magazine as Marcus O's put together, that magazine we've talked about and referred to, that Mobile Prep magazine right in the high schools, talked about players. Nowhere to be found was Brandon Johnson. I don't know if it was an omission an oversight or what. But when I saw that, I asked Probst about it. He had no idea why that Brandon Johnson's name would be left out of the top 25 to 30 prospects in this area. But believe you me, Kentucky knows what they're doing in offering him a scholarship.
He's been the difference tonight, no doubt about it. Got off to a slow start, but since the Hurricanes have gotten the field position advantage, he has been the monster for Bryant.
Dan's kick taken by Saunders near the sideline. Flags all over the place up near the 30 before he's hemmed in and tackled. Field is in great shape. Coaches, though, said watch out for the sidelines. That's where it's a little soft. I told Joe Downey, he said, got to be careful near the sideline. Holding the call against Theodore. Boy, they're having all kinds of trouble right now. Flags. But you want to stay away from the sideline. I told Joe, I said, tell your players just to cut back to the field. Avoid going near the sideline.
Holding against the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Instead of having possession at the 30, they're back at the 20. And the Bobcats need a drive. They started out in great fashion before they fumbled it away. Here's the handoff to Saunders. Breaks a tackle, breaks another, and then spun down at the 22-yard line. A couple of yards, maybe 3. Broke a couple of tackles, did the 5'10 senior. You know, Theodore came out like gangbusters, drove all the way down to the Bryant 15 or so, and then fumbled the ball away. And since then, it's been Bryant high in the Hurricanes.
Drove from their own 35 down to the Bryant 14 on that initial possession lead, but fumble turned it over.
Dawson Saunders runs right, 25, and that's where he stopped after a yard gain. Lewis Pollock was right there.
Boy, big hit by the outside linebacker, 180-pound junior, was all over Tilford Saunders. Brings him down after a gain of a couple. They'll move it out to the 25 and face a 3rd and 5.
They have had success throwing the ball to Quinney. We have not seen it past the Quinney in quite some time.
Yeah, Dawson completed his first 3 passes of the night, 2 of those 3 to Quinney, and all 3 for first down.
8:57 to go, second quarter. Dawson pass throws to the near sideline. Roberson, he can't hang on to it. Went right through his hands at the near sideline. Coverage provided by 5'8 senior Kenyatta Fantroy.
And Troy on Roberson, and Roberson beat him to the corner. Was open, and Dawson did a nice job of fluttering it out there, but right in Roberson's hands. He should have had that one at the sideline.
But I think you called it when you said fluttered it. It was not one of Dawson's spirals, that's for sure. Burke's got to watch out for the rush on this punt. In particular, John Sweat, low snap. Here they come, and he gets it away, and he hangs one up there. Good punt because it had a lot of hang time, but taken on the run. And coming back to midfield is Wilkerson. So he caught that on the run. He does not like the fair catch. Bryant leading 14-0 now at midfield. And actually on the Theodore side of the 50. The mistakes have really hurt the Bobcats. The fumble, and then the roughing the punter. And right now the Bryant Hurricanes leading 14-0 with 8:38 to go in the second quarter. Some of our sponsors, Zogby's Uniforms, South Alabama, Spectronics, and Dairy Fresh. 1st and 10, split backfield. There comes, you guessed it, Johnson. He's to the 45, he's to the 43. Again, it's no easy task to bring him down. He gained roughly 6 to 7 yards. Call it 6.
And credit those guys working in front of him because they're opening some creases, giving Johnson a chance to get ahead of steam going, and he is a tough one to bring down once he gets that forward momentum going.
Ball at the 43-yard line, 2nd and 4. They're dressed in blue tonight. Bryant, Thompson, Johnson tripped up this time, short yardage to the 41, but near a first down. That time he just put his head down and plowed his way forward. The defensive wall for Theodore, having all they can handle tonight. Marcus White, Ben Black, Kendall Goodwin, Sally White. 3rd and 1, and this becomes a very important play as Theodore tries to stop the Hurricanes. Single setback, double wing, 2 wideouts, 1 left, 1 right. Johnson, 40 to the 39. Looks like he's got the first down. Off the right side of the line.
Had to get it just about halfway between the 40 and the 39-yard line. Boy, that's almost exactly where it sits. We'll take a timeout and get a measurement. From our angle, Lee, it would look like he's got enough, but not by much.
Well, the Hurricanes have some big linemen. Lawson's 280, Dixon's 260. Petronas, 224. Now, Wilson, he left earlier. He's kind of a lightweight. At 210, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not very big at all. Here's the measurement. And he's got it. Brandon Johnson, 3 sports star. Baseball also one of his better sports. He's a center fielder, so you know he's got speed. I would have to imagine there's got to be some schools in Alabama that would like to have a fullback. Especially one that can catch a pass.
And he's shown he can do that tonight.
7:15 to go. Second quarter. From the 39, Johnson flash straight ahead. Off the right side, down to the 36-yard line. Lance Howard, the sophomore, in on the stop.
Yeah, giving up the body to get in front of Brandon Johnson. We'll get our replay from Sports City 6 up here, and we get to see how Lance Howard just kind of threw his body towards Brandon Johnson's knees, and that's about the only way you're going to get the guy off his feet.
Second down and 8 from the Theodore, 37-yard line. Man in motion, but Johnson will not get it this time. Thompson keeps around the side, down the near sideline, first down at the 23-yard line.
Touchdown saving tackle on the corner by Ettrick Pruitt, who had he not knocked Gerald Thompson off his feet, he would have coasted down the sideline for 6 more Bryant points.
Not only does Pruitt do it on the field, he does it in the classroom with 3.4 GPA. Alabama, Auburn, UAB, Southern Miss, just some of the schools looking at Ettrick Pruitt, a 6'1 senior, maybe the top athlete at Theodore. First down
At the 21, an 18-yard gain for Thompson.
Gerald Thompson this time gives the football off. And a short gain for Lewis Pollock. He replaced Brandon Johnson in the backfield, and the 5'10 junior could not turn the corner and loses 3 yards on the play. So Theodore that time stopping the Hurricanes. And in this ball game, the key, I think, so far, among other things, the fact that they're gaining a lot on first down, and they're coming up with second and short.
Well, that gives your offense so much more flexibility when you got a guy like Brandon Johnson you can give the ball to 3, 4, 5, 6 yards on first down. It gives you a lot more options on second and third down.
5:55 to go, second quarter. We're coming up on a heat-related timeout. 14-0 Hurricanes. Here's the handoff coming to the right side. Lynn Thompson breaks the tackle. He's to the 20. Stopped at the 19. Out of bounds. Gained about 3 yards. Tried to go inside, into the outside. And Lynn Thompson taking the ball from his cousin, the quarterback. 5'10 sophomore with a couple of yards to the outside. He is a very quick back.
Pretty good job, though, by the Theodore Bobcats really to stretch that one out, force Thompson towards the sidelines and keep him from getting around the corner and getting big yardage down the sidelines.
Now we get the heat-related timeout. 5:20 remaining, second quarter. The players get a much-needed break, 14-0 in favor of the Hurricanes. We'll take a break on WNTN, Sports City 6. $14-0 in favor of Bryant. On this opening home game for Bryant, there was a lot of concern that the stadium would not be ready. The field itself okay, but they did not have a fence up about 2 weeks ago, and that by state rules, you got to have a fence surrounding the field. That's in place. They met on Wednesday and then decided to go ahead and play the game. And as we were coming in, work crews were leaving. Right now, it's Bryant.
They still had the bulldozer running when we were pulling up.
Here is Gerald Thompson, gives it off to Lynn Thompson straight ahead, but very little yardage, maybe a yard or two. But I tell you, this Bryant football team is working as hard as the Browns crew and the workers out there, leading 14-0.
That time, Thompson surrounded by Kermitris Wells, the junior linebacker. Got a hold of him rather quickly. Stops him for little or no gain.
Ball now at the 19-yard line. The Bobcat 19. It's 4th down and 9. They're going to try it. Billy Cann, the field goal kicker. I believe this will be his first field goal attempt. Out of the hole to Curtis Moore at the 25, 35-yard effort. Ball down, kick up. He's got the distance. Does he have it? He does. Barely can. The youngster who has never played football until this year. How about that?
Nothing to it.
Asian background, Billy Ken from the Alba soccer team of a year ago. His first field goal is a beauty. 35 yards, 17-0 Bryant. Right now, you add last week and this week, and they have outscored the opposition 43-0. I'd say that's a little surprising to some.
It is indeed. We thought that this would be a good combination with the two teams merged to become Bryant High School, and so far Rush Probst has got to be happy with his new product.
Earl in Mobile was mild compared to the Bryant Hurricane.
No kidding.
Waiting for Billy Can's kickoff. A full moon. Looks like a big cantaloupe.
The spread they served us when we came in tonight, everything reminds us of food now, huh?
You cannot beat that West Indies salad. Can will kick. Now you see why Forrest Gump kept coming back here to the near sideline and out of bounds. The Theodore will get it at the 35-yard line. Or they could get a redo, but they'll probably take it at the 35.
I would think so. That's good field position.
Halftime on WNTN, Southern Pickwick returns. Steve Armstead, a preview of the SEC football game.
Procedure against the kicking team. Receivers elected at the 35-yard line.
Now it's up to Terrell Doss. One thing about Theodore, they have the type of offense that can come back. They're a throwing team. They've got the breakaway speed. So they're not out of this game by any means. If they can put a drive together here in the second quarter with 4:38, they've got the receiver in 20. Four-man front. Doss, hands off backfield, and tripped up and down without really getting hit that hard was DeMarcus Martin. I'm not sure who he stumbled over. Maybe one of his own players. I'm not sure. But he lost his footing and gained just a half a yard. And Martin leads the lineup. DeMarcus Martin, 17-0. Bryant leading, 4:16 remaining in the second quarter. Joe Downing and his staff, Greg Wright, Jay Pope, Mark Jones, Bill Meredith, his brother Scott's with Bryant, Bobby Parrish, and he's got a nephew playing for Southern Miss and playing well, Terrence Parrish, and Tommy Hearn plays baseball at South Alabama. Second down and 10. Doss out of the shotgun, back to pass, throws. There is Quinny backpedaling off his fingertips, incomplete. At the Bryant 35, he had to turn around. He was backpedaling, couldn't hang on to it.
And little double coverage back there as well, employed by the Hurricane defense. Kenyatta Fontroy back deep, and had a short man as well who was helping him. And Chris Wilkerson, those two combined to double cover Quinny on the outside, and Doss really had to thread the needle and couldn't quite get it in there.
Threw a real nice pass that time, and Quinny went up that time, and as you said, Fantroy right with him. And that was a big concern of Coach Probst, whether his cornerbacks could stay with Quinny and Roberson. 3rd and 10. A lot of time that time for Doss to pass. He keeps it back. Sanders back there with him. Out of the shotgun, he loads it up. Back to pass. Doss still has time. Throws to the right this time. Roberson can't get it over his head. That brings up 4th down. That means Brooks will punt. And again, you've got to watch out for the Bryant specialty team. The amazing thing to me, and again, you know, the complexion of this game could change, but how well this team has meshed both offense, defense, and specialty teams, what with two schools, two different personalities coming together, you would think it would take a few weeks. But they all seem to be on the right page.
They like it so far, and they've had the number in stopping Terrell Doss, the Theodore quarterback, opened the night 3 for 3 for 29 yards, and now is just 5 of 12.
Burks punting out of trouble that time. He went down, no flag. That time Wilkerson did take the fair catch. And again, a lot of pressure on the punter, but he just barely got it away. And he went down, but no flag. 3:40 remaining, second quarter. All placed near the 30-yard line. And the Hurricanes already leading 17-0 will take over after the punt by Thaddeus Burks. Brandon Johnson has been the story of this game. We got a new quarterback, Natalia Daughtry. Now, he was the starting quarterback at Graham Bay last year. He was in a fight for the position, but he was hurt in spring. Out of the shotgun, he's going to hand off. Here comes Thompson, flag down. He's not able to turn the corner. He's roped down at about the 26 for a 3 or 4 yard loss.
Yeah, not much from Thompson around that side. The Bobcat defense, a good job of swarming, stretching out the play, and keeping Thompson from getting to the corner.
Preliminary indication is holding against the Hurricanes. And, of course, Harville Owens will be heard from on this broadcast in just a moment. Natalia Daughtry was hurt during the spring.
And holding against the offense, 10-yard penalty.
And he and Gerald Thompson were locked in that quarterback duel. But Daughtry also gets playing time as he did last Saturday against the Shaw Rebels. Next Thursday, Mike and I will take a trip back to Ladd to see LaFleur and Williamson. And next Friday, we go to St. Paul's for a 4A, 5A matchup, BC Rain and the Saints of St. Paul's.
BC Rain with a battle tonight across town, matching up with UMS tonight. Both of those teams surprised last week. These two teams both 0-1 tonight. And to think that either T.R. Miller or UMS Wright would start the season 0-2, hard to believe, but one of those teams will do that if they avoid the tie tonight.
Daughtry at quarterback, team in a big hole now, so he gives it off to Brandon Johnson, but the hole closes on the left side, and he gains nothing. It'll be second down and 23 yards to go as Johnson closing in on the 100-yard rushing mark. Timeout taken. Timeout. 2:58 remaining, second quarter. 17-0. Bryant leading. We'll return on WNTM and Sports City 6 in a moment. $17 to nothing Bryant in their first 6 quarters in their short history. They've outscored the opposition 43 to nothing. They have possession, second down 22. From their own 17, toss sweep left Johnson, turns the corner, hit, still on his feet, drives upfield near the 25. So he turned what could have been a 1-yard gain into about an 8 or 9 yard gain. Stopped at the 25-yard line. It'll be third down and about 16 yards to go, and Brandon Johnson ought to be over 100 yards now.
Well, should have gotten that exactly. We'll try to total it up as they spot that one out about the 25-yard line. Give him a gain of 8.
Mike and I will be heard together tomorrow on WNSP from 9 to 11 statewide on the SEC Tailgate Show. Comprehensive look at all of the SEC football action tomorrow. Single setback Johnson. Here's the quarterback keeping bootleg to the left. He's to the 25-30. He is to the 35 and out of bounds is Gerald Thompson near the 38 and near the first down marker. Now, sometimes, Mike, on a play like that, the quarterback won't tell anybody, and he'll just, what they call the naked bootleg. I don't know if it was planned or not, but he almost got the first down. He really turned it on around the left side.
Awfully close, and this looks like it might have been the case. Well, maybe not. He did have one blocker over on that side. Regardless, Thompson beat the Bobcats to the corner and gets out about the 35-yard line, but still just shy of the necessary yardage for first down, about 5 yards shy.
Actually, they had to go a lot longer than I thought. Johnson back to punt. Gets the snap, gets it away. Oh, another beauty. Oh, he just kicked the air out of this one. Back is to Michael Sullivan. Will make a fingertip fair grab at about the 23. He just booted that one downfield. 40 yards on that. His tops tonight, 66 yards. He has scored 2 touchdowns. He has also caught a pass. Brandon Johnson I'm talking about. We got 2 minutes to go. Keep up to date on all the scores in high school football. Tune in Pigskin Pete on WNSP tonight after the Bay Bears ball game. Pigskin Pete takes you to 12. Show unlike any other show in this area, let me tell you.
Pete and the gang always do a fine job. Enjoy being a part of that. We'll flip a coin tonight to see which one of us checks in and gives him a report
I
here.
heard your report last week. You did a good job.
Thank you. Again, always. That's one of my highlights of the Friday night ride home is to call Pigskin Pete.
And no sooner had he asked for the score, you jumped on it. Let me say this. Anybody listening tonight, if you're at another ball game, call in Pigskin Pete with a report on the game. And for my benefit, if you know, instead of just giving the numbers of the players, if you can identify them, it'll help me out too. Coming home, I like to hear who the players are because I don't have score sheets in the car, rosters and all that.
That's right.
But sometimes you can't help it. Timeout on the field. This will be a first down for Theodore after another Brandon Johnson kick. Took the Bobcats deep in their own territory.
We saw them hanging off the rafters here at Bryant High School. Getting some 5,000 plus in attendance tonight. The first ever home game for the all-new Hurricane squad.
And they have put on a show so far
haven't they?
for the home fans. 6A Area 1 contest. Let's not forget that. I mean, this game goes to helping determine who goes to the playoffs, and usually it's Murphy and Theodore at a 6A Area 1, but the Hurricanes may have something to say about it. Out of the shotgun, Doss will run it. Quarterback keeper runs into his own man, flagged down, tripped up as he crosses the 20 to about the 22-yard line. I think his progress was impeded by his own player.
Yeah, we'll watch and see if this play holds up. Might have been a holding call from the location of the yellow hanky on the turf, and if so, then the Bobcats will back up even closer to their own goal line.
Harvell Owens and his staff refereeing the game tonight, 1:54 remaining in the second quarter, and this one will come back, and Theodore continues, in a sense, to shoot itself in the foot.
Holding gets the offense. Hands the distance penalty.
Mike, this game really can be wrapped up. Turnovers and then penalties that really hurt Theodore tonight.
Well, we go back and think about the start that Theodore got off to, moving the ball from their own 35 down inside the Bryant 15-yard line, but then turning it over. And that momentum swing was all Bryant needed to get things going their way.
First and long, handoff. Saunders circling left, hit down the 9-yard line. He gained a lot of yardage laterally, but not much upfield, maybe a yard or two, and he needed 22 yards for the first down. It'll be second and long. Doss may just decide to go back and heave one downfield to Quinny and take your chances. 1:25 to go, second quarter, or just run out the clock and regroup. Out of the shotgun, Doss throws to the right, and Quinny cannot reach it. He really turned on the speed that time, but unable to catch up to it. That was not Quinny, by the way. That was for Theodore trying to run that pass down. Unable to do so, Miguel Henderson, 6'1" sophomore who Joe Downey raves about. Miguel Henderson trying to run that pass down. It's third down and 19 yards to go. And let's give credit to this Bryant defense, too. They've done a job.
After Terrell Doss opened the night 3 for 29 yards, he's completed only 2 of his last 10 passing attempts.
They load up the shotgun. Here's a screen, almost intercepted. Saunders went for it right over the middle behind the line of scrimmage. But I saw one of those blue jerseys just lurking around, and almost coming up with it was Dwayne Lavelle. He's also a top-notch prospect who schools like Troy State and UAB are looking at, and scored a touchdown last week.
Yeah, Lavelle just kind of holding his spot from his linebacker position, not wanting to commit to chasing Doss and not exactly dropping back into pass coverage. And when Doss tried to lay down the screen, boy, Lavelle was the closest one to the ball.
Perks had better be careful in his own end zone. Here comes the rush. They get it. They blocked another one. This one is going out of the end zone. The third block this year. I think it was Lavelle. I'm not positive, but I think it was Lavelle. It was not Lavelle. It was John Sweat again. That's his third block punt in 2 weeks.
Well, some guys have a specialty. John Sweat is blocking those punts, the third in 2 ball games, and this one goes as a safety for the Hurricanes, and their lead stretches to 19-zip.
I saw the 5. Lavelle, I thought I saw 4 or 5. It was either Sweat or Lavelle. They say Sweat was the one who got it. He had 2 last week. Perks in his own end zone, and the pressure came, and indeed it was Sweat. Sweat got it. Now, last week when he blocked it, it stayed in the end zone, and Lavelle fell on it. This time, Lavelle traced it across the end line for the safety. Now the free kick. I'm telling you, a first-year school, they're doing it. This is exactly what happened last week, Mike. People probably said I was, being a little over-enthusiastic. Offensively, defensively, and specialty teams. I've never seen a school mesh like this in the first game and a half.
Joe Downey and his Bobcats across the way must be feeling like they're in the midst of a hurricane, and they're trying to do what they can to battle against it. They'll look forward to the eye of the storm here with halftime coming up, try to regroup and see what they can do against the Hurricanes in the second half.
Chris Carbo will kick off. The name may sound familiar. His dad, former major leaguer Bernie Carbo, who joined Randy Patrick on Randy Patrick at noon. Listen to this. Bernie is also in the band, and at halftime will march with the band, and that may be a better place to be. Here's the run back from the 25, and up near midfield, and in great field position for Bryant High School on that return on the free kick. So on the return, Bryant High School, that was Fantroy who returned it. Kenyatta Fantroy, first down at the Theodore, 49 with 56 seconds remaining in the first half. A safety, a field goal, and 2 touchdowns for Brandon Johnson.
Well, they've done it all.
Out of the shotgun, they'll load it up. And here is Daughtry, and they're rolling right, throwing to the right sideline. Caught. And tackled at the 38-yard line. And Dwayne Lavelle, the defensive linebacker, in there at the tight end. Very close to a first down. The clock still moving. At the 40, it's 2nd and 1. They place it at the 40. Daughtry completes it to Lavelle. 41 seconds remaining. 2nd and 1. They're doing it all right now. Daughtry will take the snap in the shotgun on 2nd and 1. He gives to Johnson, first down, straight ahead, 35. And Johnson down to the 31-yard line.
Well, Johnson got the first down and cut it back nicely to the weak side. Barreled over a couple of Bobcat defenders. Has a first down just outside the Theodore 30-yard line.
The Hurricanes cannot be stopped. As you said, the eye of the hurricane. First down at the Bobcat 31. Daughtry from the shotgun fades. Daughtry throws right into Fantroy, the intended receiver. Clock stop. Just 11 seconds remaining. First down, now 2nd down. That was a first down pass by Daughtry. The best playoff position that Rush Probst was ever in was back in '92 when he took his team to the semifinals. He was telling us before the game, he was a coach in that Alabama-Mississippi game, defensive coordinator. I'll tell you more about it in a moment. Daughtry back to pass. Throws long deep for the far side, intercepted. Return to the 20, to the 30, to the 30, and now the other side, breaking it and missing going on. Cedric Pruitt. Cedric Pruitt was stopped at the 25. Time runs out. Theodore's best chance to score. Pruitt in a foot race was finally brought down at the 25-yard line after intercepting at about the 11 and returning it almost for a touchdown. He got by Brandon Johnson. But what I started to say a moment ago, Probst was the defensive coordinator for that Alabama team at Ladd Stadium that had to deal with Romero Miller, who's now at Ole Miss, and they stopped them. And as you can tell, he's got his defense doing wonders out here tonight as he did last week.
Against the team for the interception. The penalty is declined. That's halftime.
All right, Harvey. 0-0. Here's how they did it, Mike.
First half